So you and your family have been trying to figure out where it is you're going to move, and Dallas, Texas is one of the places. Well, today we're going to go over 10 reasons why you should not move to Dallas, Texas. So stay tuned.
I'm Andy.
And I'm Patrice.
And today we are going over the top 10 reasons why you should absolutely not move to Dallas, Texas. In fact, we are going to go into some of these are things that I never see or no one ever talks about. So we're definitely going to get into that. And those are going to be the last two. And then stick around to the end because I'm going to do one of my favorite rants.
Oh, so, here he goes again.
Yeah, it's one of these things that I know no one ever talks about, but it drives me absolutely bonkers when it comes to Dallas.
And I think I know what it is because we just got back from doing some client things and I'm pretty sure I know what it is.
Yeah. We were out doing our recordings for some of our contract or our new builds. So Teresa's very familiar. I think she already knows what it is.
Yes, I do.
Now, if this is your first time on our channel, we are local real estate agents right here in Dallas, Texas, and we do videos once a week of what it's like to live, work, and play. And we help hundreds of people relocate here to the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So if that is something that you're interested in, make sure you hit that subscribe button and that bell so you're alerted every time we do a video.
Yes, and don't forget to give us a call, text, or email. Whatever you got to do to get a hold of us, just get a hold of us. We're here anytime, day, night, weekend, whatever it is. You just give us a call.
Yeah, we keep it real in real estate. So now let's get into this top 10. The number one, everybody always talks about, but let's get it out of the way. Let's just rip the Band-Aid off, and that's the weather. Right? Weather here is hot. It's you've heard it. Not only
You said it.
Not only have you seen, the July, August, September temperatures reaching in those triple digits, but we also have February, right? Where, you get drastic snow and ice storms. So the weather is just all over the place. They say in Texas, if you don't like the weather, wait 15 minutes.
And if you can tell, today, it's June, and we're both wearing long sleeves. So It's not really warm today.
No, June is perfect, and like I said, it does increase. It slowly ramps up to where once you get in that mid-July through mid-September time frame, it's going to be hot. It's not something that's unbearable, but it is something that is extremely hot. It just is. But the rest of the year, the fall and spring are incredible. Yeah. So it's just one of those things that, we're not telling you anything that you haven't heard already.
Absolutely.
Right? All right. So let's get into number 9. Why would somebody not want to move to Dallas?
I think it's part of the reason are the bugs.
Bugs. We always hear about bugs. To me, there are the fire ants. For me, are what drive me nuts. You get some rain. People are shocked, actually, when we talk about weather, that Dallas gets more rain, or just about, it's on par with Seattle. So when that rain comes, it drives these fire ants. I don't know. I've never seen anything like them. I seem to get attacked. I get attacked all the time with these fire ants. But there's some sprays and that sort of thing that you can put on them. But
mosquitoes is another one.
Mosquitoes, snakes, they're big spiders. Patrice has a picture. We'll throw that up here. A big giant spider when we were out looking at some new construction houses for some clients that we ran across. What about the bugs, babe?
Bugs? We just spray. We keep it's not that difficult to keep the bugs away. So I don't, the only thing I see are those little tiny geckos, those little house geckos, which I love. And they kind of keep the bugs, the littler bugs away. But we've never really ran into anything, major. Outside you get like some grubs, which are gross and just weird things. But I don't see much in the house really ever.
No, and you could get home treatment centers. In fact, in most of the new construction, even since we've been out here, since 2005 or so, they've got injections that they build into the house. So they actually build these tubes all throughout in between the walls, and then they have little holes that they inject some pesticides or whatever it is that kill the bugs. And so you don't really get a lot of that rodents and that sort of thing inside your house. That's kind of the protection. So there are things you could do to combat it. But if bugs are like you're deathly afraid, then maybe Dallas, Texas is not for you.
I'm pretty sure bugs are everywhere though. So I think you're I don't
Just
know.
saying.
I don't know where you're gonna go.
Now let's get into number 8.
Number 8 would be probably the biggest question we get, which is property tax.
Property tax.
Property taxes are kind of
brutal.
high around here.
It's brutal.
Yeah.
It's anywhere between 2 and 3%. So in the newer communities, you've got PIDs and MUDs, so you're going to be closer to that 3%. In fact, we were just talking to one of our favorite builders, Highland Homes, and they are in a new project up in Van Alstyne, so be alert for that video.
Yeah, it's going to be beautiful.
It's going to be awesome, but they do have a MUD, and their all-in tax is 2.9.
2.9.
So when you factor that in, if you're starting with the base price, the housing prices here are not as cheap as everybody thinks, right? So if you're coming in here with a $600,000 budget and you've got a 3% property tax, that's $18,000 a year.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, you've heard me say this. If you're a fan of our channel, you've heard us talk about property tax ad nauseum. That's just because it's the topic that we get, the questions we get asked about all the time. There are things that you could do to protect it. If you're a veteran with 100% disability, you don't pay any property tax.
Correct,
If you have if you're a veteran with a certain percentage of disability, you get a percentage off of that. You also have your homestead exemptions. If you're over 65, you have those exemptions. So there's some things that you can do to combat that. And fight in this, and protest your taxes. In fact, right now is the season that we're doing that with all our clients.
Yeah, that's true.
Now, that leads us right into number 7, which is
MasterPlanned Communities. Not everybody's a fan of them. They're really cool if you are, especially if you have kids. They're fantastic because they have a lot to do. They've got, the directors that plan all the cool events and things like that. They've got pools and all that. But they are also an HOA, so you have some restrictions.
Absolutely,
right?
and that's the biggest thing, right? We always get, hey, I want that Blue Lagoon at Windsong Ranch, or I want this and that, and I want the big lifestyle that comes with these master plan communities. Yet we often get the HOA question. Well, we don't want to be in an HOA, etc. Well. You can't have your cake and eat it too. They kind of go together.
Somebody's got to pay for all that.
And someone's got to pay for it, right? So those are all the HOA dues and that sort of thing. But I will say this. And when it comes to master plan communities, it goes beyond the HOA, the communities itself. It goes along with the cities like Frisco, Prosper, Salina is going to be this way, McKinney's this way. The master plan communities where everything is kind of laid out and designed with a big vision. And they're very restrictive on what can be in there. And a lot of times with these master plan communities, it can be kind of cookie cutter, right? That's kind of your typical suburbs, and that's what we have out here. The plus side is that we don't have a lot of this undesirable stuff that happens with some of those older, closer to the downtown big cities that other areas experience. These master plan communities have everything, but they are kind of cookie cutter. If you like your Chili's, you like your Chick-fil-A's.
Yeah, and a lot of them.
Nail salons.
A lot of them are closer together. The houses are closer together and less backyard and things like that. So, it's not necessarily what people think Texas is, but, the master plan communities can be really cool.
Yep.
Especially if you have kids, because your kids can meet friends really easily that way. So, there's some pluses and minuses.
Absolutely. All right, so what is the next one on the list, Patrice?
The next one is our lack of walkability to places. Yeah. We don't have a whole lot.
If you're on Zillow and you always see walkability score and that sort of thing, Dallas in the suburbs, if you're in Dallas, downtown, in the city and uptown and that sort of thing, it is walkable for sure. Places, There's some cool places. Most of our clientele are families coming out here for the school systems and that sort of thing. And in the suburbs, DFW is so spread out that you're going to need a car. There is no real public transportation. I didn't put that on the list because we've talked about it on several different videos. Everything's about 30 minutes away, it seems. So unless you're focusing on just your city stuff. But if you're going out to work, your 30-minute drive. If you're going to whatever into downtown, it's 30 minutes, etc. So anyway, you're definitely going to need a car when it comes to DFW because, like I said, everything's spread out. Even your kids' sports are spread out, right? Because you're
that's true.
You're always, at least we were. We were in
traveling.
a traveling baseball and stuff like that. So we're traveling all over the place. We spend a lot of time in our cars here in Dallas. So that is something.
In some cases, if you were like we were, and you're all weekend at tournaments, you might even need an RV.
Yeah. Not a bad.
So there's that.
Yeah.
But yes. So anyways, enough with that.
Yeah, it's definitely not as walkable as some of your bigger cities.
No, no. And another thing that people don't overly like here, because we are a big booming city, is the construction that we've got going on around here. There's a plus and a minus to that, because obviously where there's construction, that means there's things being built and we're expanding and things like that, which is good.
Lots of growth.
Lots of growth going on. So if you can just bear through it, I mean, we've done it our entire existence here and it hasn't been too bad. I mean,
in fact, we're going to show you a picture of Dallas in 2001 compared to Dallas in 2021, and you'll be shocked.
Quite a difference.
It's all around that American Airlines Center, and it was like not built out at all in 2001. And now it's insane.
There's no space around it anymore.
And that's just the downtown area. Imagine everything else. Frisco was just nothing.
We didn't even have a tollway when we first moved here, so it's come a long way.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
So new construction, it's exciting, but yet it can be a pain in the butt too, right?
Which kind of adds to traffic a little bit too. So it all kind of goes together.
It does. It's not your traditional traffic like you experience in LA or New York, Chicago, that sort of thing. It's much more detours and that sort of thing.
And little spurts almost.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's good. All right, so what is the next one?
Next one is not something that we like to talk about a lot. Definitely not on this channel. We are not political people by any means, but it is also important to be aware, if you're not already. If you are a political person, then this will probably come as no shock, but Texas is a very conservative area. Texans are proud to be, Texans, and there's a lot of pride with that, and a lot of that comes with a conservative viewpoint. Here we say the Pledge of Allegiance.
We say the Texas Pledge.
We have the Texas Pledge. So there is a lot of things. I don't find it to be, we enjoy the product of coming from a more conservative background. But it's not going to be all in your face. It's not like people are just out there, with their red R's, hey, if you're not conservative, you're nothing. Most 90%, 80% of the people are just independent kind of free thinkers, and that's the way it is.
I don't even think I know the majority of my friends what political party they are. We just all like each other, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, it only comes up at certain times of the year, right? Yes. During the voting season or whatnot, the political climate. But in general, like I said, it's a very conservative. If you want a more liberal surroundings, then you're needing to be in Dallas proper or in Fort Worth. So those are the bigger cities tend to be a little more liberal or left leaning. But like I said, overall in Dallas, you're going to be in a conservative area.
So what would be next is the fact that we have a ton of sports out here.
Yeah.
And
it sounds crazy. Why would I not want to move to Dallas just because of sports? No, you don't understand. Sports is king in Texas.
No, that's true, yes.
Look at all the different high school stadiums that rival college stadiums all around Texas. It's not even just Dallas, it's Texas in general. Sports are king. Frisco, Texas was the number one place to raise an athlete. We have, just if you're running off of sports teams, you've got the Dallas Cowboys. Now, they're America's team. I don't even have to tell you how much of a big ego that is, just to consider yourself America's team right here in Dallas when you haven't even won anything since in the mid 90s. But you've got the Cowboys, you've got the Rangers, you've got the Mavericks, the Stars, FC Dallas. There's just a ton of professional, and then you've got all sorts of college, and high school is just king here.
And we have a lot of minor league teams here too. So
minor league teams.
You can go see whatever type of sport you want, whatever level sport you want.
Absolutely. So, I mean, sports are just, like I said, they're fanatical here. Fanatical. I mean, it's great for some, but it's also, can be all consuming. There's just, every single field is just packed with kids playing sports and all that stuff. So it's great, but it's very competitive. It's very sports driven, sports minded town for sure. The biggest I've ever been into, and when we came from Southern California, it was sports crazy a little bit at the time. We moved out here, and it's nothing like we've ever seen.
It's crazy.
It's absolutely nuts. All right, so now we are getting into our final two, and again, be sure to stick around to the very end when I do my rant, something that you're never going to hear and see on any other channel. And I will tell you this, if you're liking the content so far, hit the like button. It helps our channel out. YouTube loves those algorithms and that sort of thing. And don't forget to comment below. Tell us, if you agree, disagree, what are some of the things that you were surprised when you moved here, or some of the reasons why you're not moving here. Just anything gives us ideas for our future content and all sorts of things. So any help you can provide is much appreciated. All right, so let's get into these last two.
All right, so the other one would probably be hail.
Hail is no
joke. No joke around
No
here.
joke. You always hear about the tornadoes or flooding and that sort of thing, and that is something that we need to be, aware of. But the thing that I'm more worried about on a daily basis, especially in the season that we're in right now, the spring, is hail. That is stuff, I mean, penny size, ping pong size, baseball size, softball size hail. It's absolutely out of control. I mean, if you need to park your cars in your garage. That's what the garages are for. Not for all your junk. Not for all your fun toys.
And if you have to park them out, you need to cover them up. We have
I can't even
two
tell
of our cars are outside, and we have to cover them up.
When hail comes, we are going to parking garages. And it'll look like, Christmas Day at a shopping mall. Everybody will have their trucks and all that good stuff lined up in the parking garages and watching the hailstorms come through, because it's, like I said, it's like nothing. We'll show you some examples.
But one of the kind of good things about hail is you will never replace your roof because of age. You will replace it because of hail damage. So
that is... For sure. And that brings us actually into the number one thing, and that is property and homeowners insurance.
Yes.
It is outrageously expensive here. Number 3 in the entire nation. And why is that?
Hail.
Just like Patrice was saying. You never have to replace your roof because of age, right? Every 5 years, a hailstorm is going to come through and wipe out the whole roof. So you got that, you've got the occasional tornado and that sort of thing. So property insurance is off the chain. You also have lightning strikes, right? So the number one cause of the reason why our property insurance is high is due to fire damage. And that is mainly due, not only do you have your normal traditional fires, but you also have lightning.
Not to scare everybody, though.
Not to scare anybody, but it's something that you have to be aware of. Your property insurance, when you're moving here, you have to factor that in, because that is a real, it could be twice as much as where you're coming from. So that's something that you need to factor in. Along with your property taxes, all of a sudden, it's not as cheap to live in the Dallas area as one thinks.
Yep. Well, I think we're ready to get going
to the rant?
On your rant.
All right. So here's the rant. So we are such a growing area, right? And I'm thinking that the roads need, they tend to not fix the roads until they're ready and overly ready, till the communities are going. But the number one thing that bugs me the most, and it does on a daily basis, is potholes. They do not take care of potholes around here. And it's not just these growing areas. I was going down Mockingbird in Highland Park.
Oh, yeah, that's bad.
And I'm just, I feel like I'm off-roading, right? Yeah. It's amazing how, with all the construction and all everything that's going on here, you would think that they would do a better job at filling filling in these
Drop
potholes.
a little something in the pothole, yeah.
Yeah, and God forbid you're out in the areas where all these new communities are.
Oh, yeah.
I'm driving with clients, and this is what the car looks like. I mean, it's just like this the whole time.
Well, a lot of them used to be farm to market roads years ago, and they just haven't changed them yet because there was nothing there. And so they're building the communities before they're fixing the roads. And so,
then they're going to widen the roads, and then they're nice.
And
so
then the big trucks are making it worse by getting to the new communities. So it's just like it is kind of a hot mess.
Yeah. Yeah. People, maybe that's the reason why so many Texans drive trucks.
That's probably it. Yeah.
Who knows?
Smart,
but it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
So if you are moving to Dallas, Texas, you may want to consider getting yourself a truck.
Yes. So welcome to my world of rants.
Yeah,
you guys get to share with me what I get to listen to.
It's unbelievable. You'll know it when you see it. You know, anyway, it's something that I don't hear anybody else talking about, and I just figured I needed to get it off my chest because I just rammed into one today.
We should have taken some video of that, actually,
I know,
and I could have put it up there for you.
Exactly. But anyway, those are our 10 reasons why you may want to reconsider not moving to Dallas, Texas. And again, if there's something that we can do to help you out, please give us a call, text, email, whatever it is you need to get a hold of us.
Yep. And don't forget to fill out that dream home form so that way we know what it is you're looking for when you're coming here, and we'll try to avoid the potholes for you when you get here.
Absolutely. And until the next time, I'm Andy.
And I'm Patrice.
Take care.